Are you living up to your fullest potential? Do you always feel like you've got more capacity to grow and develop, but never know how to do it? Or are you just one of those people that wants better results, prays and manifests for it, but never takes the action? Does the same thing over and over and over again and expects different results? Well, Einstein says that's insanity. Today is your day to break those shackles, to lift those anchors of insanity and help you to move forward, because I have this phenomenal course that is going to take you to the next level. Really unlock your power of purpose and potential. It's time, my dear friend, to elevate. Welcome to Elevate. It's time for us to unlock our true power, our purpose, and our fullest potential. I am your host today, and I'm putting this course together complimentary for you to really help you to uplift yourself. Module 1 is going to be phenomenal. We're going to smash through all of these barriers. My name is Neil Nasser, a life coach, a mentor, a motivational speaker, and I am on a quest to empower 1 million people, to change 1 million people's lives. I've been developing people for the last 15 years. And today we're going to go on this journey together to empower you to take your life to the next level with some key strategies and key techniques that will help you. Let's dive right in. Module 1, my dear friend, is all about the power from within, building that strong foundation. Let's think about this. Any skyscraper, any big building, even the biggest structures that we have in this world, what is the starting point? The starting point, before you lay those bricks, before you put those first initial blocks down, you have to dig deep into the foundations, and those foundations need to be solid. They need to be so solid that they will not move. They will not have subsidence. Once you've got the foundation in place, then you can start to build on top of that. So, with any great journey, any great structure, anything that we want to do, we have to start at the basics, at the root cause, at the foundation. And right now, the power from within, we are going to dive deep into building that strong foundation. Let's journey together. Make sure you got your notebooks, make sure you got them to hand, because I'm going to give you some free content that is going to really change your life. Let me give you a brief introduction to the section and what we're going to cover. This module sets the stage for transformation. This is helping you to understand your true inner power and strength, because it resides within all of us. This is going to assist you, my dear friend, in breaking through your limitations, the things that have been holding you back for many, many years, the things that you have been dragging along with you, those anchors that serve you no purpose, those handcuffs that you have been bound to. Today is the day we are going to break free from them. And we're going to build that solid foundation, my dear friend, for growth, which is going to elevate you and take you to that next level that you have always desired. It's time to turn those dreams into reality. Stop that manifestation and visualization, which is only the spark. And we are going to put action towards that, which is the fuel that is going to go on top of that spark. And together we are going to create fires that burn from within. The resilience, the strength, the confidence that's going to come from you is going to be unreal. Today is the day we take back control. The journey of 1,000 miles starts now with this initial step. Let's step together. Let's start this journey together. I'm really excited to have you on board with me, and I'm going to handhold you through this process. Before we get started, let me give you a breakdown of what is contained within this course. There's 5 modules within this course that will really elevate your life and take things to the next level. This journey is a 5-step process. And then within each module, with each step, there is 4 core principles. Let me take you through module 1 and what we're going to cover in this particular section. First and foremost, we're going to identify your strengths, values, and then align that with your purpose. We have to understand right at those initial stages what your core values are, what your core strengths are, to allow you to uplift yourself and take that alignment towards your purpose, to understand the direction of travel that you need to get into. And then we're going to move on into understanding the mindset shifts that are needed for growth. Everything starts from the mind, right? Once we have a powerful outlook on life and we're able to control our mindset and face negativity with positivity, we can battle through any given situation. Section 3 is about overcoming our limited beliefs. So, those things that go on in our mind, the things that we tell ourselves, those anchors that we have been holding onto for so many years, it's time to let go of them and move forward. The self critic, the self doubt, it's time to shatter that. That will help us to really start to cultivate this area for growth and development. And then number 4 is all about building self trust, then taking aligned action. Some serious key words in there. That aligned action is so important because we have to understand which direction we're going in and how much effort we're going to be putting in. There's no point in running a marathon in the wrong direction. We have to understand where that finish line is, where that target is. So section 4 is all about building that self-trust, which will shatter the self-doubt and take that action towards the person that you want to be. Before we get started, my dear friend, there's a couple of housekeeping things that I just need to get through. Then we can kick right in as we start to elevate. Firstly, please do follow us on all of our social accounts, okay? Social media is a massive platform for us. We share memes and information and reels on a daily basis that can really change your life. Just search for Neil Nasser on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Look for all of our posts. Some of our videos and memes could be the key to unlocking your success on any given day. So follow us, hit that notification button, and subscribe to all of our media channels. A spoiler alert is please do watch this entire video from start to finish. There may be sections that you will skip and you will miss that vital point which will really take your life to that next level. That one thing that you miss could be the key to unlocking your true potential and success. If you are re-watching it, my pro tip is to watch it in 1.5 speed or 2 times speed. You could just click that button down below. And then when you get to that point where you really want to absorb a bit more, slow it back down again to normal speed. So make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you are keeping a journal of your growth, of the things that you're learning throughout the course, because it's so valuable. We are giving you insights today to help you to take your life to where you want to get to. And then you can click on the link below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're going through our Go High Level support system, you will automatically be added to our community. If you're watching it on YouTube, click the link below and join our free community. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to interact with our community members. And of course, I am part of that community as well, so you will have direct access to me. And I look forward to speaking to you there and helping you to elevate your life even further. Right, let's move on into section 1.1. Are you ready? Make sure you got your notes. Make sure you got connection to all the community. Make sure you're subscribing and you get all the notifications on all our social media accounts. We are going to smash through and take your life to the next level. Let's do this. Let's identify your strengths, your values, and your purpose. As we begin, we've got to understand the physiology of things. So first and foremost, let's look at the physiology behind strengths and purpose. Let's understand what it means. You see, my dear friend, our brain, it craves purpose. It's craving it. When we give our actions meaning, then our brain becomes more engaged, more focused, and more driven. This gives us that clear sense of direction that fuels our motivation. This gives us a clear sense of direction that fuels our motivation. You see what happens? Motivation is up and down, up and down. Sometimes you feel really pumped and sometimes you feel low. It even happens to me. And that's just being real with you. Now, what is the steps that will take you through to the place that you need to get to? That's discipline. When you align that discipline, but you've got to understand the steps that you're taking, you've got to have that direction. So through that process, we will understand more why our actions need to have meaning to direct us, just like that compass. And we can understand where that finish line is. Our values shape our fulfillment, aligning what we do to what truly matters to us deep within our core helps us to create a deep sense of satisfaction, right? Life is not a Will Smith movie. It's not the pursuit of happiness. We get happy from having a cuddle from our children, our spouse. We get happy from having that nice meal. We get happy from the sun rays. We get happy from a good sleep, right? These are small moments, small pockets of happiness. We are aiming to create a life of happiness. Our aim is to create a life of fulfillment, a satisfaction. And you can do that by living a life of purpose. So that's how we align the things that we do to everything that truly matters. What we create has that deeper sense of satisfaction for us. Let's understand our purpose. Let's understand what gives us that satisfaction. Then we move on to the reward system at work, right? The brain really thrives off that dopamine, okay, which regulates that motivation. We need that regulation sometimes because we get so hyped up. You know, when those moments of pleasure, when that dopamine is being rushed and that pushed through your system, you know, when you've just gone in the gym and you've had a great workout and the dopamine is feeling high, sometimes we need to be brought back down to earth, right? You see, we can understand how that motivation is activated when we act in line with our values and the things that make us feel most rewarded. I'm going to give you loads of examples through Module 1 where I've worked with clients or even celebrities that have mastered this reward system in their mind and stayed 100% focused on the task at hand. The way they have done it is by understanding sustainable motivation rather than those high peaks and troughs that we get that go all the way down, relying on that fleeting external reward, sometimes intrinsic rewards. The inner fulfillment that we get from meaningful actions keeps us inspired in the long run. And that's what we're looking for, longevity. We're looking to make our motivation really push ourselves and determine our direction of travel and really keep us disciplined, motivated, and focused. This is how we build that strength and that purpose. We want to learn to harness our strengths even further. You see, by putting the reins on the strengths that you have within yourself, this will be a driving force to push you forward. So many times I have come across people that have been told, let's just focus on your weaknesses. Let's develop your weaknesses. No, let's focus on your strengths. Let's harness your strengths. Let's develop and polish them even more because that will be the driving force and you will leave your weaknesses behind. You'll forget about your weaknesses. So when you harness your strengths, you're going to be able to push yourself even further. You see, knowing your strengths unlocks a flow state. When you play to your strengths, you enter that flow state quite easily. It's like the river. Sometimes in life, we are swimming against the current. We need to turn around and move with the current. Everything feels effortless and it feels so engaging when you're in that flow state. It's those moments where you become unstoppable. This is when you perform at your total best, 100%. You're focused, you're aligned, you understand your purpose, you're playing towards your strengths, and you really untap your flow state. This is where you get great positive outcomes and fantastic results. But these results come by knowing your strengths and unlocking them. You start to silence that self doubt. The prefrontal cortex, which is at the front of your brain, is the part of the brain that is linked to things like procrastination, overthinking, self-criticism. They become less active when you're in that flow state. It frees you from hesitation and insecurities. Those things that you tell yourself that stop you from moving forward, they become those barriers. When we control our prefrontal cortex, the front of our brain, our logical brain, we can start to really harness our strengths and energy, get more into that flow state, and move without hesitation. We have more confidence through clarity. You see, we understand what we're naturally good at allows us to trust ourselves more. It boosts our self-belief. It boosts our decision making. It helps us to keep on driving forward, especially in those times when it's very difficult. You know those times I'm talking about, don't you? You want to go to the gym, you want to go for a jog, you want to get up nice and early and hit the day really hard, but it's cold and it's wet and it's miserable. You know what I'm talking about. You've been there, haven't you? See, by mastering your motivation, by mastering your decision making skills, this will help you to boost that self belief, that trust that what you're doing is right, your purpose is aligned, and you enter that flow state by controlling your logical brain. Then we get to a state where creativity starts to flourish within that flow. Now we've got to this level where our self-doubt has really been quietened, right? Our brain has more space to be creative, to start to problem solve, to start to think outside the box, start to think about different areas of our lives, the things that we want to achieve. You may face that problem in that state of tiredness, that state of desperation, and you can only think of one solution. Sometimes that state that you're entering is that state of fear. And that state of fear is forget everything and run. And we run away from the challenge. But when you're in this flow state, you look at fear in a different way. You face it and you rise from it. This then starts innovative thinking, thinking outside the box, trying more solutions, experimenting. In business, we always say experiment, experiment, experiment. And if it's not working, fail fast, get back up and experiment again. You have been there before. When you were a toddler and you were trying to walk, you had moments in your life where you fell down, but you got straight back up again. You see, life is not about how hard you can hit it. It's about how many times you can get hit and you can get back up again and you can keep on going. You have already done this. Let's get back into that mode of toddler state where we dared to dream, where fear was just something that we didn't even consider. When we get back into that mindset, we allow ourselves to get back into this flow and we really harness the strengths from within. And this will allow us to continuously move forward and create ripple effects that will change our destiny, our life. We will really start to live out our dreams and elevate our lives to that next level. Let me take you on a journey because I've coached many people throughout the years. And for each module, I'm going to give you an example of people that I have coached. With their permission, I'm going to talk about their journey in some degree, and they're going to give you some advice as well. The first person we're going to go to is a dear friend of mine. Her name is Natasha. I met Natasha some years ago when she was in a state of life where she felt stuck, stagnant, didn't know which way to turn. And then through our journey, our work together, we worked on these areas of identifying her values and her strengths. And she became an empowered leader for young people. Let me tell you about her journey because it's so phenomenal. Every great story starts at the beginning. So let's start off with her initial steps. When Natasha first approached me, maybe about 2 to 3 years ago, depending on when you're watching this video, she felt so lost, really uncomfortable. You see, Natasha, from my memory, she was an incredible person. She was really hyper successful in the corporate world. She was a true professional, right? When she used to meet me, she used to come with these stories about things that she wants to do. She had built this solid career. This may be you, by the way. You may be in this career. But yet, with Natasha, she felt like she was missing out on something. Remember, I talked to you about the happiness moment versus the fulfillment moment? Well, Natasha didn't feel that sense of satisfaction in the work that she was doing. Yes, she was highly successful professional, but when she came home at night, she didn't feel that sense of fulfillment. She felt like something was missing all the time. Now, no matter what promotions that she went for, what achievements she earned, she won awards, she got recognized by the CEO of companies, she got massive pay rises, she still felt unfulfilled. And this was something that was baffling her. She could not understand it. Why was she getting all of this recognition from people in her industry, her peers? People were really looking up to Natasha as somebody that was a bit of a trendsetter, but yet she felt like she was just going through the motions every single day. Deep down inside, Natasha, God bless her, she knew she wanted more. She wanted to make a bigger impact, but she just was not sure about how to do it and then what to do about it. And then a few years ago, Natasha decided she was going to go to this conference that was being held at the Excel Centre in East London. And I was one of the speakers. I talked about unlocking your values, your purpose, your strength, and how important it is to identify your strengths and then work towards them. I gave examples of people that work in data analysis and really lead unfulfilling lives. They get paid really well, they get recognition, but they were really unfulfilled. And in that talk, I motivated people in the audience. I got people standing up. And Natasha was one of those people. She came and approached me after. I remember it as clear as day. So I stepped into her life at that point and coached her on a one-to-one basis. And we started this journey together to really create a life of meaning for her. This is what we did. So we started at the beginning, finding out her purpose. We hit that ground running from day one. We had our first session. When we got into our first few sessions, we started off exploring her strengths and her values and what truly lit her up. What did she feel passionate about? Now, this was exploring work. This is why I needed to ground her and be present in the moment. I'm shortening the story, but this literally took maybe 2 or 3 sessions because we took our time over this. It's so important to understand and unlock this. This requires a lot of brainstorming, a lot of analysis. Now, Natasha had her breakthrough, and I remember it as clear as day. It was like that light bulb moment. It lit up the office. It was unbelievable. You see, Natasha's most meaningful moments in life weren't in those boardrooms, in those project meetings. It was when she was doing some guiding, some mentoring. It was when she was working in this summer camp. She volunteered some of her time to these young people and she started to guide them. She started to mentor them. She became a support system for this young network. And then after the summer camp, she went back every single year. Not only that, she started to help them on an individual basis. This was the light bulb moment. Honestly, my dear friend, if you're watching this right now, you cannot believe how the room lit up. She realized in that moment that she had a passion for working with teens, helping them to build their confidence and navigate that future. This was the insight. This was the moment that really changed her life. But it took work. It took work to get there. It took us time to really unpick. I can remember we talked about so many different areas because Natasha really enjoyed cooking as well. So one of the potential sidelines we were looking at for a little while was actually a career path in cooking. But we looked at certain obstacles within that industry, and those were the same obstacles she was facing in the boardroom. So we eliminated that and we dug deeper. So if you're going to go through this process about finding your purpose, start off with some brainstorming. At the end of module 1, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that's going to help you, but make sure you give yourself this number one thing. Please, please, please give yourself time to do this work. Listen, my dear friend, it wasn't easy. There were obstacles along the way. Of course, if you're going to make changes in your life, you have to understand there will be moments that are challenging. Let me tell you about a few obstacles that she faced. The transition for her, she struggled right at the beginning. But you see, there was a thing in Natasha's mind that was called self-doubt, right? Have you got that self-doubt? She struggled a lot with that. Could she really get to that point where she could step away from that corporate world? Remember, the corporate world is rewarding, and I'm rubbing my fingers because you know you're going to get paid really well from it. And sometimes you want to break free from that cycle of money. Could she really make that impactful difference in a completely new space, in a new area? Is it really just a passion project? You see, when she volunteered for the summer camp, it was just a passion project. It was just something that she enjoyed doing. She never considered that as a full-time career. She had spent years, and I'm talking, dear friend, she had spent countless amounts of times from a university degree, her graduation. She went into the graduate job in the corporate world and she built herself up. She spent a number of years. What if this didn't work? That's what she kept saying to herself. What if I've just made the wrong decision? But she confided in me. She had me along the way to help and support her to smash through what we call these limited beliefs because they started to creep in. We did a lot of groundbreaking work with her to understand where these limited beliefs came from. Now, a lot of it came from her past. When we did the deep dive in and we look back, some of these limited beliefs came from when she was a child. Some of the things that she was fed by her parents, by people around her. She was bullied at school. She never thought that she would amount to nothing. But because she's been successful in the corporate world and she started to see success, people always praised her. She built motivation off the praise. What we needed to do by smashing those limited beliefs is start to work on Natasha praising herself for her abilities, for where she's got to understand those stepping stones that she's taken in her life. There is just one more stepping stone for her to smash through, to let go of those anchors and to allow herself to be in flow state to move forward. So together we tackled through these fears. And honestly, there were tears in those fears, but you have to be able to release those tears to allow yourself to flow forward and be in that state that you want to get to. We redefined this word success for her because for herself, it wasn't about titles and it wasn't about salaries. When we did this deep dive, she wasn't attached to her corporate name or the money that she would get, but she was more attached to the impact of creating positive changes in people's lives. And then once we got to that point, once we got that spark, and remember I said that motivation is the spark, right? We added fuel to that by taking affirmative action toward the place that she wanted to be, that passion that she started to show. We worked on her mindset, really shifting that uncertainty in her confidence, and tried to then move forward by designing a clear step-by-step transition plan that she could then slowly move away from the corporate world and start to move into a life of purpose, of passion, of fulfillment that she wanted. So does this sound like you? Are you in this position? Many of us are. Many of us I've come across have worked in the same job for many years, but really just don't like it. That really have no passion for it anymore. The passion died off many years ago, but you just do not know how to make those changes. I'm going to give you these tools later on in today's module to help you to move forward. And as we move and progress through the modules, I've got an unbelievable offer for you later on. I'll show it to you that will really help you to take your life to the next level, just like Natasha did. So where is Natasha now? What's Natasha doing now? Because I still contact her. We still have our monthly coaching sessions now, and she's still on this pathway to keep on growing. I'm really pleased to say that Natasha is in a leadership role, managing a program for young teens, and she's helping them to develop incredible life skills. They're developing their career readiness. These young people are more confident with Natasha at the helm, and she's loving what she does, honestly. She no longer feels stuck, stagnant in her work. She's continuously growing and trying new things. When I see Natasha now, she's just full of energy and she's deeply, deeply, deeply fulfilled in what she's doing. You see, her work allows her to feed that creative side of her, that passion that she has, by guiding the next generation, making the kind of impact that she once dreamed of. Remember that stage I was telling you about just now when she had that self doubt? Am I making the right decision? She was dreaming about it. Now she's living out her dreams. The reason I'm sharing Natasha's story with you, because first and foremost, she wanted me to share it with you. She wanted me to inspire you with it. But her story, for me personally and other people that I've shared it with, is a powerful reminder that when we align our careers towards our values, everything shifts. And when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. You see, with Natasha, we embraced her passions and we started to step past these fears that she had, these limited beliefs that she had. She didn't just change her job post, she found true purpose in life. She has changed as an individual. Through the years that I have known her, she's changed her career. She's fell in love. She's got married. She's had children. She's now looking after all of these young people, helping them to grow, and she's inspiring others to do the same thing. Her journey hasn't ended. It's just begun, because through this process, we've created this ripple effect. These ripples then grow into waves, and these waves then grow into tidals, and tidals can grow into tsunamis. And believe you me, you never know what that one step can do. It can change and impact so many people's lives. Natasha's journey for us is that inspiring story that you can listen to right now, and you can be inspired to make that positive change and align all of your values towards your purpose and start to live a life of fulfillment. Let's break down some of the lessons that we can learn from Natasha's story and her journey. Fulfillment comes from that alignment. Success without purpose feels empty. right? It's just that moment of happiness. You feel rewarded when you get paid once a month, when you get that increase in salary, that promotion. True fulfillment comes from when you work on what aligns with those values, those passions that you have truly deep inside of you. You focus on what matters to you. If something feels off, my dear friends, it will be off. It's very worthwhile you exploring the why in this. Why does it feel off? Why do I not feel contented? See, fulfillment comes through work, and you have to put that work in. And as I said, you've got to face those fears. And with Natasha, some of those fears unlocked some tears, but that was the pains and the struggles that she was holding back on. This was when we started to align the passion with the purpose, the values, the beliefs that she had, and really started to channel in. Another lesson is that clarity comes from action, not just reflection. If you sit there and start manifesting and visualizing everything, that's great. I'm all for manifesting, I'm all for visualization, I'm all for vision boards, but you have to put action in. With Natasha's journey, she just didn't find her calling by thinking, she found it by taking those small steps, by testing the waters. She started to do more youth work. We created this side hustle. She started to do more volunteering on the weekends. She dipped her toe in the water, and seeing that she really enjoyed it, it started to resonate with her. You see, my dear friend, change happens when you move forward out of your comfort zone, not just when we plan it, but when we move towards it. So, with motion, there is emotion. You have to use emotion to get up and find the motion. Take the steps, even if they're small. And as we said right at the beginning, it's the journey of 1,000 miles, but it's got to start with that single step. And you, my dear friend, are the one that's got to get up and take that initial step. No one's going to do it for you. You have to move yourself. Let's look at some more lessons from Natasha. Fear and doubt are just a part of growth. As I said, those tears that came out, they were just part of her growth journey. Natasha's journey wasn't fear free. There were many, many moments. And I remember I'm making this story really short because we worked together for nearly 2 to 3 years. She questioned herself a lot. She worried about change and she started to doubt her own abilities. But we looked at a lot of her transferable skills. Natasha had many transferable skills from working in the corporate world. So many things that she learned and built, and courses and development things that she went on that she could transfer into her new life. I want you to understand this. Growth always comes from discomfort. You must have heard about the comfort zone. Living in the comfort zone when it's all nice and toasty and cozy, that's great. But nothing grows in that comfort zone. When you step out of the comfort zone into uncomfortable situations, that's where you start to get real growth. That's where you start to really push yourself. You go beyond your limitations. Nothing grows within that comfort zone. The key is to push forward despite uncertainty. And that's what Natasha did really, really well. Your past skills, the things that you've learned, just like Natasha, can help you to fuel your future. A career shift doesn't mean starting from scratch, okay? Remember, you have so many years of training, things that you've learned, so many lessons, so many failures that you've learned from that you can bring into your new life, into your new role. Her experience within the corporate world as a leader was just the structure that she needed to take on new roles. Remember, she was already working at a high level, so her communication skills were really on point. I mean, she was talking to some serious senior executives, so she was able to communicate really well. Imagine when she steps into that world where she's talking to teenagers, to young people, she can then utilize all of those skills of negotiation, of being able to teach them these skills as well. Everything that you have learnt right now to date, you can repurpose for your new path. Just consider that. Maybe start writing a list of all of your skills, all of the things that you've learned. It's a great starting point. Now, as we run through all 4 of these sections, each one will come with some practical skills and strategies, some key things that you can literally take away with you today. And I've designed some worksheets in there, all free of charge, all complimentary, just for you to take your life to that next level. Let's move into some of the practical strategies and solutions that I have created for you to help you to unlock your values and your purpose. Okay, let's move into the first one, which is strategy. This is called the Strengths Finder exercise. The tools you're going to need is some paper and a pen. Hopefully, you've got a notebook and you're taking notes already. Let me tell you the task. First and foremost, what I'd like you to do is to write down 5 things that you are naturally good at. Now, do this over a course of time. Don't just do this rush. Take a breath, ground yourself, be in the moment. Really think about 5 things that you are really good at. They're your natural gifts, they come towards you. You're really good at them. Take that moment and reflect and write those 5 things down. Once you've got to that point, my dear friend, what I'd like you to then go and do is go and ask 3 people in your life to confirm or add to the list. Okay. So they're either going to confirm that you have those natural abilities, or they're going to look at that list and say, hey, you've forgotten about this one. Now, these 3 people in your life, they can be from your work life, your personal life, they can be members of your family, they can be your children, your spouse, people that you're close to, it could be your friend circle, anybody, but they need to really know you. So maybe people that have known you for some time, maybe you shared some experiences with. Once you've done this, start to evaluate. Now you have your discovery, you have your strengths. You start to really look at your strengths and then you ask yourself, have I truly aligned my strengths towards my purpose? Am I utilizing all of these strengths that I have within my workplace, within the job, in the career path that I have, within my relationships? Within all areas of my life? Are you utilizing your strengths to your best potential? The next strategy I have for you is to start to look at your values. My dear friend, this is called the Values Alignment Worksheet. I've designed this for you and it's nice and easy. All you need, my dear friend, is the worksheet. The link is below. Just click on that link and you need your notepad again. And of course, a pen. I didn't include the pen. It's logical you need the pen, of course, Neil. So the Values Alignment Worksheet is designed for you in a way. We're going to go through it. I'm going to handhold you through it in this part here. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to approach it. This worksheet will help you to really start to discover your full potential. Let's dive into the worksheet so I can handhold you through it and show you how to approach it. Okay, perfect. You have downloaded the complimentary worksheet on value alignment. What I'd like you to do first and foremost, please, 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 is make a copy of this, save it somewhere. If you're printing it off, keep it in your little folder. Maybe you've got a personal development folder somewhere on your hard drive, or if you've got a physical one, just keep it in a folder to one side. This is your investment. This worksheet is designed to help you with your decision making, influence your behaviors, and determine what truly fulfills you. You see, our values, they shape our decisions, they influence our behaviors, and they determine what truly fulfills us. So it's really important that we drill down even deeper into this and do this worksheet so we can explore and align your life with your core values. So take the time out for each section. Do not rush each section. And please, 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 please answer each section honestly, because you're only lying to yourself. So just take your time with it and talk from the heart. Let's move to step number 1. What we've got to do here is identify your core values. What I'd like you to do is look at the list of values below, read through them, circle some, highlight some, choose about 10 that really resonate with you the most. And feel free to add a few. I mean, I haven't exhausted the list, so there might be some things that are personal to you. Highlight them. Once you've done that, I'd like you to narrow them down. So take your 10 and then put them into 5. 5 of your top 5 values that you have got from above or from yourself, and really start to narrow down this list. You're starting to hone in now your values. Now let's look at step number 2, understanding your values. So for each one of your top 5, answer the following questions with it. Okay, there's 4 questions in each one. Number 1 is, why is this value important to me? Next, how does this value show up in my daily life currently? Then ask yourself, in what areas of my life am I honoring this value? And then lastly, in what areas of my life am I neglecting this value? Repeat it for each of the five. Write it next to it. Get it into your notebooks. Repeat all four questions and really take some time out to come up with those answers. You'll be surprised at what happens in this particular step. Let's look down at step number 3. This is all about aligning your life with your values. Now, let's do some exploration work, how you can bring your values to life. What I'd like you to do here is to start to ask yourself these vital questions. And again, there's 4 questions. Number 1, ask yourself, where do I feel most fulfilled? And how does this connect with my values? Number 2, where do I feel unfulfilled and frustrated? And what values might I be missing within this frustration where I'm feeling unfulfilled? Ask yourself this question. We all do. Then number 3, what changes, either big or small, can I make to align my life closely with my values? So these are things that you can start to consider. These are questions you need to ask yourself. Whether they're big changes or small changes, it doesn't matter. But the steps that you're taking, the movement that you're making towards your values, like Natasha, will start to really harness this life of fulfillment. And then number 4 is about your daily habits and your practices. Ask yourself, what daily habits and practices can I implement to honor my values more consistently? This is a key question, my dear friend. You want to ask yourself this question and really do some work, some deep digging. What can I do to honor my values more consistently? You start to put in this work, start to put in this effort. So just like the work that Natasha did with this worksheet, she started to ask herself these questions, and this is where she started to really flourish and understand where she can have the most impact. Let's look at step number 4. This is about creating a value alignment plan. So to ensure that your values shape your future, let's complete the following statement. In the next 30 days, I will. Okay? We've got to complete that statement. Write one specific action from your top 5 values. Does that make sense? So what you're going to do is look at your top 5 values, all of the work, all the dissecting, all of the things that you've added to it. It's nice and chunky right now. It's feeling strong. It's good in your mind. You're going to list 5 of them out, and I want you to complete those sentences. In the next 30 days, I will, blah, blah, blah. In the next 30 days, I will, blah, blah, blah. And apply it to each of those 5 values that you have. You'll start to really create this action plan that will make a massive impact over that course of time. And then right at the end of the worksheet, we have a final reflection. What I'd like you to do here, when I say a reflection, I want you to ask yourself these couple of questions. How do I feel after completing this worksheet? What insights have I gained? By doing this deeper work and understanding it, it will help you to really reflect on the journey that you need to take from today onwards. What are you lacking? What are you not aligning? What are your daily habits that are hindering you from stopping you from living this life of purpose? The conclusion to this worksheet is living in alignment to your values and creating that sense of purpose, fulfillment, and clarity. So, my dear friend, keep this worksheet to one side. Keep it as a reference. Have a blank copy. Keep revisiting it. Cross through things. Every now and then, go back to it and do another worksheet. It's free of charge. It's complimentary. It's so valuable for you. So, revisit it regularly. Ensure that you're staying true to what matters to you and have that alignment towards your growth. My friend, well done. You're putting in a great amount of effort, and I'm sure by now you're starting to feel back in control. But I've got a question for you. Are you ready to seriously take back control of your life? Well, I've got an offer for you. Why don't you join our free of charge Elevate community? That's right, it's absolutely free, complimentary. Let me tell you exactly what you need to do. Firstly, click on that first link that you can see on YouTube below. Can you see that link? Click on that. That will take you straight to our community. Let me tell you what is exactly included in our community. First and foremost, you will receive one free of charge weekly Q&A group call with myself. That's right. Once a week, you will get access to me alongside all of the community members. Well, we'll do a great Q&A session to really try to unpick areas of your life. Then on top of that, you'll get access to 15 plus hours of bonus resources. That's right, 15 hours plus of free bonus resources. Then, of course, you'll get access to our private, thriving community full of ambitious and like minded individuals just like you. Can you imagine how powerful that will be? Surrounding yourself with a brand new network of like minded individuals, all with this one mission to take back control of your life. Surrounding yourself with winners, people that are really highly motivated. And then you'll get some exclusive access to offers such as coaching, courses, events, etc. So click on that first link on YouTube and join our community right now. It's 100% free and complimentary because you are watching this video right now. I look forward to seeing you in our free of charge complimentary community where I can personally see you growing and developing right in front of my eyes. Click on that link right now and join us. Well done. That was some amazing work. Fantastic. You've got that values alignment sheet. Keep it to one side. Please do. It's going to come in so handy. Keep on regularly reviewing it and asking yourself those questions. We're going to dive back into my computer shortly because for each and every section, we're going to go into somebody famous, somebody that's been successful in their life, and allow their example of success to shine within ourselves. So first and foremost, let's dive into the computer for our first celebrity. Do you know this young lady? That's right, it's Oprah Winfrey. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey, as a child, she faced immense hardship? I don't want to go too deep into her life because you can do that research yourself and you may already know, but she had a very tough upbringing. But through this trauma and these struggles, these obstacles that she faced continuously, she identified that one of her core strengths was communication. Does that make sense? So, by aligning this with her values of empowerment and storytelling, she built her whole empire that still serves people till today. Everybody around the world, the ripple effects that she has created, the shows that she has done, the people that she's interviewed, the stories that she shared, the films that she has made, through sharing her story, through helping and supporting one another, has had a profound impact on many people's lives. So, Oprah's journey is something that we can reflect on and learn lessons from as well. So, let's consider that. Perfect. Let's move into our final strategy. This one is about purpose and reflection. What I'd like you to do right here is some journaling. But we've got to do this with mindfulness. We've got to do this in a state where we are really reflecting on ourselves. The tools you're going to need is a notebook or a journal. And of course, keep hold of that pen. That's right. We're going to do this work here. What I'd like you to do in this moment is take some time out to contemplate asking yourself this really deep and meaningful question. What activities make me feel most alive? So, what activities do you do that really motivates you, really makes you feel like you are on top of the world? What is it that really gives you that sense of purpose? Once you've written that down, then go deeper. I'd like you to write down these moments in your journal or your notepad, but really start to describe them. Describe being in that moment, what it feels like. Go into the emotion of it. I really want you to start to unpack it. When we did this work with Natasha, this is where we got those two areas. We got the cooking and we got working with young people. And of course, we dismissed the cooking at a certain point, but the young people, but working with the young people stayed along the way. So consider that. Start to really describe the feeling, the emotion that you get, what happens within you, not just the motivation on the surface level, but dive deep within it. Once you've done that, you now have all of your tools ready to utilize to understand and unlock your values, your strengths, and your purpose. Now let's move into the next section, 1.2, where we start to understand the mindset shifts that we need for personal growth. Okay, let's keep this journey moving forward. Let's dive into section 1.2. Right here at this juncture, what we're going to be doing, my dear friend, is we are going to be understanding the mindset shifts that are needed for growth. What happens up here will help you to elevate, will help you to grow, to nurture that change. It's so important that we harness our mindsets towards development, to have this growth mentality. And in this section, we're going to hit it hard. Let's dive into my computer so we can go through this step by step. Now, probably there isn't a person in the world that has not heard of Michael Jordan, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Honestly, what he did and what he accomplished in that era was unfounded. Did you know that he was actually cut from his school basketball team? He went on to be one of the best players of all time, but yet at school, they cut him, they axed him from the team. But instead of Michael seeing that as failure, he saw that as feedback and he utilized that for a growth mindset, which led him to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. Can you imagine the strengthening that that took? Sometimes, what do we see failure as? We see failure as that opportunity to stop, not to try. I'm never going to put myself back up again, but to have a growth mindset, we need to understand that our failures are our biggest lessons. So, Michael Jordan's story serves a great reminder for us to understand that our failures are just feedback, they're just lessons. They are not areas for us to stop or to pause. The only pausing that we do is to reflect on the lessons that we learn. Let's continue this journey. First and foremost, it's a fear response. We have this amygdala, which often is referred to as the brain's fear center. This detects potential threats and triggers, that fight, or flight mode, right? When you just freeze in that situation, even when the threat is right in front of you, when you're in that unfamiliar circumstances, sometimes we just freeze and we pause. Is that you? It definitely happens to me sometimes. If it does happen, because this part of your brain is saying there is a threat, a potential threat. This is why stepping outside of your comfort zone feels so risky. You know, when you've been in those situations where, you know, when you've been in those situations where, when you've been in those situations where, you know what, you've never done something before, you step into it and you feel really scared and nervous and anxious. That's the brain triggering that fear response, right? Even though you know you need to do this because it's necessary for your growth. You see, our brain is a very powerful tool, right? We can actually start to reframe the brain to see fear as excitement because the brain interprets fear and excitement very similarly, extremely similarly. When you look at the brain waves, they literally are aligned. This causes this adrenaline spike. You get that when you're excited and you get that when you're fearful. So, can you imagine the two that correlate together? So, by shifting your mindset from I'm scared to I'm excited, just changing these words that you're feeding your mind, you can rewire the responses you get, stepping into the new opportunities with bravery, with courage, rather than with nervousness and end up biting your nails. Our failure, honestly, my dear friends, it fuels our growth. Your setbacks are the things that you step on. When you make mistakes and learn from them, your brain starts to adapt these new connections, these new neurons that really connect together. This is why embracing your challenges, taking on feedback, and having persistence in your life is the key to shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset where you can really take on new opportunities with courage and bravery. So, what is some of the physiology behind neuroplasticity? Let's dive into this. See, neuroplasticity and adaptation is when you repeatedly step out of your comfort zone. You repeatedly push yourself into new boundaries, into new areas of your life. The brain starts to form these new neural pathways, as I was talking about just now, making unfamiliar feel more familiar over time. It becomes more natural. So, one of the biggest fears in the world is actually the fear of public speaking. The more you expose yourself to public speaking, the more you stand on stage. I'm not going to say that you're going to really stop that fear, but because it's become more comfortable, you know what to expect. The key here, my dear friend, is consistency. Consistent exposure to the challenges, the things that you fear the most, will help you to overcome them. This is where we get strength. This is adaptation and flexibility. Discomfort for us in our lives equals growth. This prefrontal cortex, this lobe here, this part of our brain is responsible for our logical thinking, our decision making, our reasoning, right? So we must override sometimes this area which sometimes logically thinks, you know what, fear is there. We need to embrace it. Think logically that if I move forward, if I take this risk, if I step into this new area of my life and I do it more consistently, then it's going to get better for me. I'm going to get more comfortable with it. This means leaning into discomfort is a sign of growth, not a sign of danger, which is where we often see things. We are rewiring through that consistency. You see, repetition is the key, discipline is the key. Every single step that you take will help you along the way. Every time you challenge your limiting beliefs, you learn a new skill, you gain more knowledge, you step into a different place, you go into some area of your life where it's very uncomfortable, your brain starts to strengthen these neural pathways and it starts to support that growth journey for you right up here, right in your mindset. Trust me, my dear friend, this is the way to do it. The more you repeat this new behavior or thought pattern, the easier it becomes. It becomes more automatic. And over time, you just start to get into this flow state. So try now. Try to tell yourself these things. Try to consider your logical brain and your emotional brain. This will really help you to harness this growth journey and enhance your mindset. I'm going to talk to you about a client of mine. His name was Ali. I want to tell you his story because, again, he's given me permission to do so. But Ali overcame this fear of failure, which led to a lot of procrastination and a lot of static behavior where he was just still in his life. So let me go through Ali's journey because it's one that can inspire us. And we'll talk about at the end some of the incredible lessons that we can learn from what he did so we can apply it to our lives to help us to keep on growing. The initial steps for Ali is when he come to me after a conference that I was speaking at. There was a pivotal point in his journey that he was launching his first business. In his mind, he was really bogged down with all of this self doubt. There was so much, honestly, it was oozing out of him. This poor guy, he was plagued with the fear of failure, right? It was so apparently clear from day one that fear of failure was high up on his list. Honestly, he wasn't sure whether this dream that he has of starting his new business would ever come true. In fact, after from what I can remember, after speaking to him after maybe one or two sessions, he had this dream for many years. And what intrigued me is what pushed him to do it at that point. Apparently, he went on a couple of courses, he spoke to a few people, and he attended the conference that I was speaking at, which gave him that courage, that springboard to push himself forward. Then he approached me and we worked together. You see, for Ali at that time, the idea of setbacks felt like a massive obstacle. He didn't see them as learning opportunities. He saw them as an area where he just stopped and paused. That's why he never tried for many years. So rather than stepping onto the fears and stepping onto these stones to success, he basically just stepped backwards, right? And he saw other people maybe as, their worst critics, but actually Ali was his own worst critic. We started to do some reframing techniques with Ali. It was really important that we started at this juncture, set this foundation, and got rid of some of these limited beliefs that he was holding on to. I started to help him to align some focus around the setbacks and encourage him that his setbacks weren't failures, but inevitably they were learning experiences for him. So if he stepped out of his comfort zone and tried something new, something that we always say a lot in business is keep on experimenting. And if something's not working, you fail fast. This shift in his mindset made a world of difference to Ali. I'm telling you, over literally overnight, he changed his perception. Ali began to view his challenges as opportunities, so he turned his obstacles into opportunities for growth and ascension and elevation. He started to embrace his mistakes, changing his approach. Then we did a lot of reflection work where we could sit back, and I encouraged Ali, showing him some techniques to learn from his errors, his mistakes, his failures. And that helped him to really grow in a rapid way. Instead of hindering him, it helped him, it supported him. And as we continued our journey together, we started to see that Ali was really stacking confidence. Ali found new levels of clarity and confidence in every area of his life. The self doubt that he had right at the beginning, you wouldn't believe he was the same person. Honestly, it was like a total change of character. This old Ali started to fade away as he learned to really understand the process of learning from errors and mistakes and refining his business strategies. He really worked on himself. What happened, my dear friend, is not just in his business. I want to tell you that I saw areas of his life where he became more confident, he had more clarity, he had more focus. This then impacted on his relationships, this then impacted on his health. This impacted all around his environment. So everything he was touching literally was making a massive difference. You saw an increase in his health. He was going to the gym more regularly. He was more closer to his wife than he had ever been. He learned to spend more quality time with his children and his family members. It was a beautiful concept. Just this one mindset shift really had a massive, massive impact all around him. So for Ali, over time, his business started to scale beyond what he could ever imagine. Honestly, it was unreal. It was scaling 10x every week. It was growing more clients and more customer base by the day. He was at a point where he was no longer just trying to survive in the competitive market, he was thriving. It wasn't just about survive. For Ali, it was all about thrive. It was all about elevation. And this brought with it so many more challenges. I used to say to him, Ali, be careful what you wish for, because when you do get to that level, there's going to be more problems, more money, more problems, right? These challenges that he went through his journey. But when he faced those challenges at a juncture of his journey, because he had the right mindset, because he had the tools, he was able to build the strength from within to overcome these challenges and really see them through. Now, these were moments where I saw phenomenal growth, where I saw Ali really take control of his life, his business, and everything all around him. He went from being so unconfident, having so much fear of failure, so much self doubt, to being somebody that stood tall, stood proud, and really owned himself, really owned everything around him. Let's go into a little bit more about this surviving and thriving, because what happened with Ali as his business started to make this massive traction, this scale, so did the pressure, right? Literally every single day he was working 16, 17, 18-hour days. Again, Ali started to have a few struggles. He still faced moments of self-doubt and frustration. I'm not saying that I'm some sort of genius and I'm going to make all of this stuff fly away from Ali or anyone that I'm working with. But what we do is we build resilience within these people, within anyone that I work with. Each time he revisited the techniques that served him before, Ali just needed a reminder. Sometimes we would just have check-ins and I would say, have you looked in your toolbox, Ali? Have you pulled out this strategy? Have you revisited this? Sometimes he needed a damn good talking to as well, right? Even sometimes our clients need a good shake. And maybe you need that sometimes. I know I need that sometimes. He just needed that. He just needed to know what to reach out for at that time. So then what happened? Ali started to become more resilient, had more inner strength, more trusting of his own abilities, and more determined to see his vision come through in life, in all areas of his life. As I said before, all of his connections, everything in his environment started to grow. It was an unbelievable transformation. And I'm talking over a course of about 18 months, Ali went from very unconfident to extremely confident. And I'm not talking about ego, and I'm not talking about a person that was really narcissistic. I'm talking about someone who was just confident, owning himself. And it was a beautiful thing to see. So where is Ali now? What's he doing now? Let me tell you. Today, Ali runs a successful business. And at the time of writing this, he was just about to start a new venture, the last conversation that I had. So this shows that his growth isn't just financial, because this new venture capitalist thing that he's doing is in the field of charity. He's actually looking at building some orphanages over in the east part of Africa. It was a beautiful thing that he was going to do. So think about that and consider that. You can spread your wings and you can also fly. Over the years, I have seen him grow in confidence, in resilience, and really believe in himself. The wins that I have seen Ali have been nothing short of monumental. Honestly, they really have been. I truly believe that he had this potential within him, but because he had a lot of self doubt, a lot of fear of failure, it was locked away. One of the biggest wins that I feel that Ali had, and I think he would say this as well, is this internal transformation. I think that's brought him a lot of inner peace. And he has this newfound freedom where he sees any setbacks, any obstacles as opportunities for this growth, which allows him really to keep on picking himself up. And if you were to see Ali today, you wouldn't even know that fearful, self doubtful young man that I met a couple of years ago, 3, 4 years ago, has now stepped into something totally different. He's unrecognizable. So Ali's journey was an incredible one, right? But he put a lot of hard work in. And I just want to tell you at this juncture, if you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to make those sacrifices, if you're willing to push yourself and come out that comfort zone, you can have similar wins. You can push yourself to that next level and you can really elevate from where you are right now to where you want to be. Let's dive into some of the lessons from Ali's journey that we can take on board. First and foremost, self doubt is just a part of our process, it's a part of our journey. It's natural, right? It's a natural emotion. I don't want you to think that I'm some sort of confidence guru, but I'm not. I'm not a confidence guru at all. I'm not going to beat that out of you. It's a natural thing that our brain goes into. But it shouldn't be something that we allow ourselves to be controlled by. We need to acknowledge it first and foremost, and we need to take action just the same way Ali did. He was able to move forward from it and he was able to grow from it and learn the lessons from it. Failure isn't just the final stage. Instead of seeing our failures as a defeat, learn from what Ali did, right? He saw each and every obstacle as an opportunity. He learnt that the step backs that he went through became a chance for him to adapt, be flexible, and improve the way he was doing things, to make streamlined decisions, which ultimately help him to build that resilience and build that success plan that he wanted to get to. And then if we look even deeper into what Ali has done over these few years, is that consistency. Discipline is the key. Success takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to be honest with you. You've got to put that hard work in and then you've got to keep moving forward, right? Ali realized that slow and steady wins the race. Consistent effort is what leads to lasting results. Plus, it sticks every time you take that step and you push yourself. It really sticks. It builds that inner strength. Even when the process felt slow, I know there were times when he doubted himself. His dedication and his persistence in the end has paid off and is paying off. So learn from that. Learn that consistency is the key, that failure isn't final, and self doubt is just a part of our process. Now, I gave Ali a call just the other day and he wanted to share these words with you to really inspire you, and hopefully you can take these on board. This is what he said. I learned that it's not the setbacks that define you, but it's how you handle them. Each failure was a lesson for me. And these lessons is what shaped me into my success. And as Neil always says, turn your obstacles into opportunities. What I say here is you change your O. Your O is an obstacle, right? But if you turn it on its head, it becomes an opportunity. It's still the O, but you're reframing it. So thank you, Ali. If you are watching this, thank you for your quote. It's been an amazing journey with you. And we still have our regular 3 monthly check-ins to see where you are. I cannot wait to hear more about his growth journey. I cannot wait to see how he takes on board some of these new challenges with the charity that he is just about to find. You, my dear friend, watching this right now, can be Ali. You can take your life to that next level. The reason I'm telling you these wonderful examples from these real life clients that I am working with is because I know you were in this position, or you are in this position where you may have this fear of failure. Maybe you have some self doubt. Maybe you see challenges as setbacks. But believe you me, when I tell you these stories, you can learn and you can grow from them. You can make massive changes. Okay, my friend, let's go into some of the practical solutions and the strategies that will help you. Our first tool that we are going to share is the mindset shift. This is called the reframing negative thoughts tool. Okay, what I'm going to need you to do again is have that pen and that paper. Hopefully, you still got that because you're taking your notes right now. Turn to a new page. The task here is that every time you catch yourself with a self imposed limiting belief, with something that's negative, with a thought that really drags you down, you know what I'm talking about because you get them. I get them. Everybody gets them. This is what I want you to do. I want you to replace it with a growth statement, a positive statement, right? Verbalize it first, okay? And then write it down. So, first and foremost, you got to think about it. Oh my gosh, I'm having one of these moments where I'm being quite negative. Oh, I'm never going to be able to start this. That is a self-imposed limited belief. I'm sorry, it is. We say it to ourselves all the time, right? Replace that with a growth statement. So going from I'm never going to be able to do this to, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And if I fail, maybe I'll learn something from it. That's changing it. Changing it in the mind. You're changing the neural pathway. You're changing the mindset. And then scribe it. Write it down. Because when you bring it into this world, when you write it down into this physical form, you own that statement. It's a great way for you to really harness this. From there, you start to build your own personal collections of powerful growth statements. That's why I said turn to a new page, right? Maybe you can start a new book and you can call it My Power Growth Statements, My Mindset Shifts, My Positive Affirmations, whatever you want to call it. But these statements will really serve you purpose because they're personal. You made them. They come from your mind. They come from your mouth. They come from your soul. So really enhance them. That's the first strategy that I'm going to share with you today. So let's dive into the second strategy that I'm going to share with you. This is called stepping up, the comfort zone challenge. The tools that you're going to need for this challenge is just a very strong mindset. Okay, so you can put the pen and paper away and start to engage this, because what we're going to do in this task is step out of our comfortable place, our comfort zone. This is what I need you to do. Do something small each day that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Slightly, very small, very, very small, atomic, right? And I'm not telling you to do something that I haven't done myself, because what we're doing here is making the uncomfortable comfortable through this process. Let me give you some examples of things that you can do. Maybe you can strike up a conversation with a stranger, maybe your neighbor, someone that you live across the road from, maybe somebody that you're sitting opposite on that train or that bus ride. Maybe it's a new colleague at work that you've never spoken to. Maybe you could try a new skill, try and do something different, learn something new, push yourself. This is a great one. Something I love to do is take that cold shower. If you're afraid of the cold, no problem. When you got the warm shower, in the last 10 seconds, turn it to cold, right? What will happen is over a course of time, rather than that being 10 seconds, you can build up, make it 20 seconds, 30 seconds before you know it, you are having cold showers and unlocking that primal instinct. Or you can make some cold calls for your business, something that we all are afraid of, right? Pick up the phone, speak to these businesses, maybe B2B, B2C, and you can make these cold calls and have great conversations with people. Stepping out of your comfort zone. The more you do this, the more comfortable you will be with the uncomfortable. So take up the comfort zone challenge right now and start to reap those rewards. Now, our final strategy, which I'm going to share for you, is called appreciation, because we can really get a lot from this. This, my dear friend, is called the Gratitude and Progress Journal. The tools you're going to need is the worksheet. The link is below, and I encourage you to have a notepad as well. And of course, you're going to need that pen. Let's dive into this worksheet so I can explain it in a bit more detail, so you can understand the journal in a bit more detail. I'm going to handhold you through this process. Go to the link, download the journal, and I'll see you very shortly. Okay, great. You've clicked on the link and you've got the Gratitude and Progress Journal in front of you. First and foremost, the first thing I'd like you to do, please, is to make a copy and to save it, right? Maybe you've got your personal development folder that you've got on your hard drive. Keep a copy there. Keep a blank copy there, okay? Keep a new page in your notebook, because you're going to want to make some notes here, right? Grab a pen, make sure you're fresh, make sure you're hydrated, make sure you are focused. I'm going to go through this step by step. Let's dive into my computer. So, just a small introduction here is welcoming you to your Gratitude and Progress Journal. Dear friends, this journal is designed to help you reflect on your journey each day by identifying one thing that you have learned on or improved on. This practice will help you to reinforce a growth mindset, empowering you to see every single small step contributes to your overall progress. So take a moment each day to write down your thoughts by acknowledging your growth. And as you scroll down, you'll start to see more of the journal. So each day, we're going to have a daily reflection. Each day, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the following prompts. Write them freely without any judgment, allowing yourself to fully process what you've learned or improved on. Remember, growth is personal and unique to you. So here we go. They're broken down. It's a 7-day journal. Day one, we've got an area here that says, what am I grateful for today? Just write down in there, freehand, the things that you're grateful for. Number two, what is one thing I've learned or improved on today? And number three, how can I apply what I have learned to continue progressing? Now, these questions, they repeat every single day. It's a great reflection tool for us. As we scroll down through each of the days, we have repetition of each and every question, asking yourself what you're grateful for today, what you've learned and what you've improved on, and how you can apply that in your continuous learning process, all the way down to day 7. Now, this is where you'll need your notebook, or you continue to write on your journal or your worksheet. At the end of the week, I'd like you to take some time to review your reflections, celebrate your growth, and acknowledge the process. Because no matter where you are, no matter what you have done, big or small, your journey of learning and improving is ongoing, and reflecting on where you've got to will really help you. So please utilize this journey to keep on going and keep on growing. Okay, let's continue our journey moving forward into our next section, which is all about overcoming limited beliefs and self-doubt. I am going to teach you how to shatter these limited beliefs, these anchors that are holding you back, how to reinforce resilience and let go of self-doubt. I know you can do it. I believe in you. With these tips and tricks throughout these modules, you're going to help yourself. I am really going to help you to elevate to that next level, to the place that you want to be, to become the person that you want to be. Please do like and subscribe to all of our channels, all our social media. On a daily basis, we are injecting you with positivity, with tips and tricks that will really elevate your life and take your life to the next level. Let's dive into my computer so we can crack on with this section called Overcoming Limited Beliefs and Self-Doubt. We're going to start looking at the physiology around self-doubt. We need to understand it in its depth so we can really know how we can tackle it. See, limited beliefs are deeply ingrained within ourselves, right? These beliefs sit in the subconscious mind, meaning that we often operate from this area. They're all just operating system within our brain. And we do this subconsciously, means we do it without even realizing it. Our limited beliefs really hold us back. They shape our lives, our world, the way we see things and the way we view things. They influence the decisions that we make and the behaviors that we take. So think about that. Think about the decisions that you've made in your life up until this far and whether they have been influenced by your limiting beliefs, by the things that you've been telling yourselves. A lot of these things are really ingrained from you at a really young age. I'm going to teach you some techniques today that are going to help you to shatter these limited beliefs, because these limited beliefs come sometimes from our childhood experiences, from our foundational years. Many of these beliefs we develop at that early stage of our life, and they're based on pretty much what we're told by others, what we observe when we're really young, and what we experience. Okay. So for me, when I was growing up, I experienced a lot of abuse from my father. And because I experienced that abuse, I had a lot of negativity about my own self worth, my own self value, and my confidence. So, if we were in positions where we were repeatedly made to feel incapable, unworthy, powerless, silly, make wrong decisions, and get punished for them, these messages can then become deeply rooted into our adulthood. We drag them through the years. We grow in 7 year cycles, and that first vulnerable cycle happens when you're still in the belly, that third trimester, all the way up until the age of 7 years old. Can you imagine? That's why we call them those vulnerable years. So it's important for us to understand the root causes of these self doubt and where it all comes from. Let's look at some of our limitations and the physiology around that. Our brains filter reality to match your beliefs. So what you see isn't exactly what you get. There's something called the reticular activating system, better known as the RAS. It's a network of brain stems that we have that act as filters for information that we process in our brain. It prioritizes and aligns things with our existing beliefs and reinforces things when they need to be reinforced, whether it's empowering you or whether it's limiting you, whether it's pulling you back or pushing you forward. Right? The RAS is that thing, that piece of your brain, and I don't want to get too technical, that will really hold you back or really push you forward. You see, by understanding this kind of stuff, by having more awareness, this helps you to break free. Because limited beliefs operate below the surface, right? So if we consider an iceberg, what we see in the world is the 80-20 rule. The 20% is above the water, the 80% is below the water. So these limited beliefs hide deep, deep, deep in your iceberg, way below the water. The first step to overcoming a limited belief is for us to recognize them. We have to see them within ourselves. Once we can see them and materialize them, we can start to tackle them. You've got this identification tool where you've got it in front of you. You might write it down and then you can challenge it head on. Literally go to it and smash it because it serves you no purpose anymore. So you reframe it and you replace this limiting belief with an empowering belief. And these empowering beliefs, they lift you, they elevate you, they take you to the place you want to be. You start to become the person that you want to be. And so this is the story of Amanda, a client of mine from a few years back. From about 8-9 years ago, she worked really hard breaking free from this limited belief that she had in her mind that she was too old to start over and over again. Enjoy her story and let's see what lessons you take from it. I'll do a conclusion at the end, but let's see what you learn from her journey. And maybe this is you. Maybe you're telling yourself certain things in your mind that's stopping you from moving forward. Let's dive into Amanda's story. So let me think back. So Amanda's initial steps came from when she was at a real crossroads in her life. You see, Amanda, like a lot of people that I speak to, had worked in the same job, the same industry, the same sector for many, many years. Like probably from when she was out of school all the way up through the time that she had her children and they grew up and she started to be a grandmother, and she was literally at the same industry, that same sector. She felt so unfulfilled from that and she really longed for some sort of change, something different. So at that juncture, she knew she wanted something different, but she didn't know what it was. She wanted to do something that gave her a bit more purpose, a bit more joy. But a single thought kept holding her back from making a change. What do you think this single thought was? I'm too old to start over again. Now, this was Amanda's mantra. It was what she said to herself over and over and over again. And this became ingrained within her. She really believed it. Is this you, my dear friend? Is this you that is searching for something that gives you more purpose and joy and satisfaction in life? Are you working in a job that you hate? Are you living a life that you're not really comfortable with? Are you telling yourself the wrong thing? See, Amanda was telling herself that she was too old to start over again. With her, this wasn't just a passing thought that came into her mind. This was a deep, ingrained belief, reinforced by social expectations, right? Because why else would you want to employ somebody that is 50, 60 plus into a new role, into somewhere where she's got no experience from? You see, what also crept in for Amanda was the worry, the fear of leaving everything behind that she had built. Everything that she knew up till that date, she'd had to walk away from it. So she was worried about many things here. Things that what other people would think about her. So, how she would be judged. How many of us always think about that and consider things that we cannot control? Whether she could compete against younger professionals, and then the ultimate thing she kept holding her back was if she was making a big mistake, even just considering moving into a new path. Can you imagine? She hadn't even tried it yet, but she was making pre-judgments about herself from her limiting belief, which was, I'm too old to start. And lots of little beliefs came in, which were all negative and stopped her from moving forward, almost paralyzed her. As we started to work together, we started to unpack these limiting beliefs. Our sessions, we dug deep. Honestly, we really dug deep. There was tears, there was smiles, there was all sorts of emotions coming out. You see, Amanda kept on saying that she was too old. She just kept repeating it over and over again. You know, we would do an exercise and she would say, "Oh, I'm too old for that." We would go for a walk in the park. She would say, "Oh, can we do the session indoors?" I would try and push her into different areas where we'd hold these sessions, and it was quite incredible. She kept coming up with the same narrative that she was too old, but yet she completed the task. Now, this was a story that she had kept telling herself for many years. So I decided at this point, I'm going to leverage and I'm going to use stories from people that have been extremely successful, that have tried new adventures and new ventures at the later part of their lives. I can remember talking about the guy, Colonel Sanders, who started KFC, because that's a great story. If you haven't heard that story, Google it and read it, because he started KFC fried chicken late in his life. I think it was like maybe in his 50s, 60s, maybe even later. And look at the phenomenon now. Look at how many stores are around the world. Colonel Sanders is a well-known, KFC is a well-known brand. So his example was something that we put into these sessions and many, many more. Now, this helped to remind her that experience and wisdom and resilience are assets, not obstacles. They're things that really will help. So all of her life experience, all of her skills, all the transferable things that she has built up over a course of time will come into the new role. You cannot buy wisdom, I used to say. I used to keep repeating it. Amanda, all this wisdom, all this knowledge that you have, I can read for the next 3, 4 years and I still cannot contain the amount of knowledge that you have. So start to believe in this. This is not something that's going to set you back. This is something that's going to make you stand out. We started to do a lot of questioning. Amanda started to realize that her fears were not based on reality, but a conditioning that she believed, something that she had ingrained within herself for over a course of many years. And unfortunately, it was reinforced by family members. So we had to do a lot of work to tackle through this. You see, the truth was that she had the skills that she could transfer over to any field that she wanted to. The only thing that's stopping her was her. Now, is this you? Is that you, my dear friend? The only thing stopping you, my dear friend, is you, my dear friend. It's you stopping yourself. Okay? There are there are opportunities out there. Are you brave enough to take them? Just like Amanda was. So in this journey, we went from doubt to action. Once we worked on her mindset, right, we shifted it and we became more powerful. She became more powerful. She was able to see the beauty inside her and really release that. Amanda allowed herself to start dreaming again, to really start to dream, but also take action. And then we started to work together to identify careers that align with her passions, her strengths, things that gave her that overall satisfaction, but also could utilize the key skills that she had built over the years so they weren't going to waste. It was an incredible process. It was loads of light bulb moments. And I remember it to this day when we really found that one opportunity that she really wanted to go for. She started to network, she started to upskill. We tested some new opportunities before she fully commit. And when she fully commit, she went 100% in. But even at that point, that journey wasn't easy because those limiting beliefs were still there. That self doubt was still there, but she had the tools to combat it. There were a few moments where she started to question, but I used to remind her, go back into your toolbox, Amanda. You've got this. I know you've got this. Start working through your fears, start challenging them. Instead of allowing them to control you, you control them. And she learnt this. In fact, when I spoke to her probably around about 6 months ago, she reminded me of this phrase that I used to say: stop allowing those areas to control you, you control them. So today she's thriving. She's loving her career. Honestly, it excites her and it fulfills her. I spoke to her a good few months ago and she's loving what she's doing. One thing that she once saw as a massive obstacle was her age became her greatest asset. Because when she stepped into this new role became something that they shaped around her. For her depth of experience, her the way that she is so emotionally intelligent, and she's a leader, right? She never realized that she had these leadership skills. She's thriving, not just surviving. Looking back, she could hardly believe that she used to tell herself that she was too old to begin again. She's been in this job for a good few years now. She's settled. She's loving it. She didn't just transition into a career. She reclaimed her confidence. She reclaimed her potential and she embraced her future. Now she goes to work with enjoyment, with passion, and she loves what she does. You can probably see many lessons from Amanda's journey when you sit back and reflect on this. As I was talking, things were coming into your mind, possibly that you're going through. Does this create a sense of urgency for you? Does this help you to start to think about the steps that you need to take? Amanda's journey is something we can all learn from. Let's go through some of the lessons which we can apply in our lives. See, your age is not the barrier, your mind is. The belief that it's too late is often a fear in disguise. And often it's our fears that hold us back. See, fear is FEAR. We forget everything and we run. But when we change our mindset to a growth mindset, we face everything and we rise. This is the same words. That rising is elevation and elevating into your new future. Your experience can really be your superpower. You really need to understand this. Whatever you've learned over the years, no matter what age you are, no matter what stage of life you are right now, everything that you've learned is a transferable skill that you can bring into a new career. And change may be uncomfortable, but staying stuck is more uncomfortable. Be honest with me. That static position, being in that job for 20, 30, 40 years, even for a few months, the job that you hate is more uncomfortable than the change. Amanda faced these doubts, right? And we learned by pushing herself through them, led her into something so much better. You don't have to take these leaps of faith blindly. Look at the process that we did with Amanda. These small intentional steps that she did. She started to network. She started to upskill. She started to do these taster sessions and get work experience and do some volunteer work on the weekends. This helped her to have a very smooth transition. So it wasn't that blind leap of faith into a new career that she could potentially then make a mistake with. She went into an uncomfortable position, feeling quite comfortable and assured that this was the right move for her. Honestly, speaking to her a few months ago, my heart felt so warm. It's as if we spoke just the other day. It was incredible. And she wanted to leave a testimonial once I told her that I'm putting this course together for you guys so you can understand her point of view and what she did. So I'll read the testimonial out for you. She says, I thought I was too old to start again, but working with Neil quickly made me change that. With his guidance, I was able to understand that my experience was my strength rather than my weakness. His encouragement gave me the courage to start to make these small steps in the right direction of a career that genuinely fulfills me. He changed my life, and I can't thank him or recommend him enough. Thanks, Neil. Amanda, thank you for being the amazing you, for being somebody along my journey that I've been able to help and to coach and to be able to bring out the best in. You see, I have a mission in my life, my dear friend, and my mission, my goal, my long term vision is to empower 1 million people. I want to be a millionaire of hearts, to change 1 million people's lives. And Amanda is just one of those people along those journey. And hopefully you watching this right now, you can become a part of that trend, that wave, that ripple effect where I am influencing and changing your life. Let's move into some practical solutions and strategies that you can start to apply to make these positive changes to shatter your limited beliefs and your self-doubt. First is the challenge. This is called the belief audit exercise. The tools that you're going to need is that pen and paper again. So hopefully you've got that in front of you. Turn to a new page and title it Belief Audit Exercise. The task here is that I want you to write down on a fresh piece of paper one of your limiting beliefs. Once you've got that down, taking your time to think about something that you told yourself. Remember what Amanda's was, that she is too old to start again. Once you've got it down on your piece of paper, I want you to challenge it. I want you to smash it. I want you to turn that negative phrase into a positive phrase. Okay? Once you've got your limiting belief down on that piece of paper, I want you to really look at it and ask yourself this one question. Is that really me? 9 times out of 10, it's not. This helps the process of challenging it and makes it that much easier for you. You can ask yourself, is this a fact or is it an assumption? Who would I be without this belief? What could I become if I stop telling myself this? If I stop having this thing ingrained in me? What would my potential be? These are all stages for you to challenge this limited belief. So make a start today. Do the belief audit exercise. Challenge yourself and push yourself. Start to shatter your limiting beliefs. And you can do this. Maybe you have 3, 4, 5, 6, how many limiting beliefs you may be holding on to. This is a great exercise and a great way to shatter them and to push yourself to move forward. Guys, did you know J.K. Rowling, who is the author of Harry Potter? I want to talk to you a little bit about her limiting beliefs and the self-doubt that she had. Before she got to write Harry Potter and became this global phenomenon, she was rejected by 12 publishers. Can you believe that? 12 publishers. Man, that's crazy. Imagine what her confidence levels were like. See, at that stage, she could have let her self-doubt stop her, but instead, she chose the resilience. She took every single setback and looked at that as a growing opportunity, and she kept going. Now look at what she's achieved. Now look at what she's accomplished with this incredible series of books and merchandise, and how she's been able to inspire millions of children around the world. Her story is a great story for us to understand. No matter how many times you get rejected, no matter how many times you fall down, it's about how many times you get back up again and you keep on going. Let's move on to the next strategy, which is called Affirm. I've designed an affirmation worksheet that you can utilize on a daily basis that will really help you. The tools you're going to need is just to click that link below and download your worksheet. And also you need your notebook and pen. So download the worksheet. I'm going to dive into my computer and handhold you through so you fully understand how to approach this affirmation worksheet. Incredible. Well done so far. You're doing amazing. Keep going. By now you have downloaded the worksheet. This is called the Daily Affirmation Worksheet. Let me run through it with you. First and foremost, as always, please do make a copy and keep it in your file, maybe your personal development file. If you printed it out, put it into a folder. Let me run through it with you so you understand exactly what you need to do within this worksheet. There's a small introduction, and I'll just read it out to you. Affirmations are powerful statements that can challenge negative self-talk and reinforce positive beliefs. Repeating them can rewire your mindset and build self-confidence. Use this worksheet, my dear friend, to engage with affirmations that inspire you and personalize them so they really are meaningful to you. I've created a 4-stage guide here of how to utilize this worksheet. Let me read through it for you. Number 1 is to read through the list of affirmations and select the ones that resonate with you. Number 2, say them out loud or write them down every single day. Number 3, personalize the affirmations in the space provided to make them more specific to your life. And number 4 is all about reflection, my dear friend. Reflect on how each affirmation makes you feel and notice any mindset shifts over a course of time. Now, I've given you a month's worth of affirmations here. There's 30 affirmations and it's quite self-explanatory. I'll run through a couple so you get the gist. Number 1, it says, I am enough just as I am. What I want you to do is to read the affirmation, I am enough just as I am. And just underneath here, I'd like you to personalize it. This is your reflection time. Personalize that affirmation. And as we go through each and every one, the same thing. If we look here at number 10, this one says, I let go of self-doubt and embrace confidence. Now, personalize this statement. Make this statement yours. By doing that, you will make it more meaningful. Let's see if we can pick another one up so you can fully embrace it. Look at number 24. My challenges make me stronger and wiser. Wow, that's powerful. Now, how can you make that your personal version? What can you write in this space here that makes it more meaningful to you? Do this work and personalize this worksheet, giving yourself 30 reflections that will really help. Now, just below the 30 here, there is a reflection area that you can utilize. There are 3 areas in the reflection stage. Let me run through them for you. Firstly, which affirmation resonated with you most today and why? Write that down in there. And then there's an emotion one. So you're asking yourself, how did saying or writing this affirmation down make you feel? And then the last one is about the changes that you've noticed in your mindset since using the affirmations. This is a reflection stage, right? We want to see how powerful this tool is for you. Remember, affirmations are a great way of lifting you up, from taking you from where you are to where you want to be, from giving you that spark of motivation. The action that you put into those affirmations is the discipline that's going to take you to that next level and take those first steps. A small conclusion of this worksheet is affirmations are powerful when practiced consistently. So keep this worksheet somewhere that's visible, use it daily, and watch how your thoughts build your confidence and things in your mind will start to shift over time. Our final strategy is all about visualization. It's about manifesting. Okay, going to teach you this technique to be able to bring your manifestation to life. The tools that you are going to need here is just one thing, just a quiet space. Just need you to sit, reflect, and to contemplate to allow this manifestation to formulate the part of reality that you need to get to. Spend 5 minutes each day visualizing yourself achieving a goal, getting through that finish line, smashing through that area of your life that you want to get to. If you want to build better relationships, if you want to look at your spirituality, if you want to change your career, if you want to have better health, visualize yourself going through that goal, achieving and accomplishing. With mindful practice over a course of time, you will train your subconscious mind to start to accept new possibilities. You'll start to see yourself going and growing and moving those steps towards the place that you need to be. Start to manifest, start to affirm, start to take action, start to walk those steps. And slowly you will shatter this self-doubt. You will change your mindset. And this, my dear friend, will open up many doors, many opportunities for new possibilities and new opportunities for you to take back control of your life and elevate it to the place that you want to be. Incredible work, my friend. We're smashing through each of these sections. Let's dive into section 1.4 so we can really harness this next area, which is all about building self-trust and taking aligned action. Are you ready? Cool. Let's dive into my computer so we can really start to harness this self-trust and really grasp taking aligned action. First and foremost, we have to look at the neural pathways and reinforce them. Following through on your commitments, the things that you promise yourself, the goals that you set, this really helps to strengthen your neural pathways that are associated with self-trust because you start to believe in yourself. You start to feel that energy. It makes it easier to trust ourselves in the future. So if we want to make changes and we want to move into new areas of our life, because you have done this before, the neural pathways in your mind will know that you smash through there and you have that winner's mentality. You see the key? It lies right up here, right in those neural pathways. You get that dopamine release. Every single time you complete a task, this triggers dopamine within the body, within the brain. And then that reinforces those feelings of accomplishment, that sense of self-worth. It enhances your belief in your ability. You start to really affirm yourself and push yourself through. And the dopamine can really supercharge you to continuously keep on growing. And it's through that growth you really start to believe in your ability. This then gives you increased self-effectiveness. Consistently following through every single action that you take, every goal that you have, and smashing through boosts your effectiveness. You start to learn about your patterns of behavior. This then, my friend, will increase your confidence in achieving your goals and reinforcing your whole self-worth, your whole self-trust. Once you build that self-belief within you, my gosh, the world is your oyster. You can take on challenges. You can look at obstacles like this and you can turn them into opportunities for growth, for development. No longer you will see failure as a setback. You will see that as an opportunity to keep on going and keep on growing. You see the key here, my friend? You have to take action. That is the magic ingredient. You can manifest, you can affirm as much as you want, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to materialize. Let's look into the physiology of taking action. Here's some points and tips that I want you to understand. First and foremost, again, we look at that prefrontal cortex. What is that? So when it's overactive, this procrastination will occur. What is procrastination? Well, it's that logical brain, that prefrontal cortex. Once again, that area where we overanalyze risks and potential outcomes, which causes us to do what? It causes paralyzation, stagnation within our lives. And then we start to delay our actions. We take no action. We don't even move forward. You see, what we need to try to do is tap into our dopamine reward system. That's that word again, right? When we break things down into really small, manageable steps, these activities that we can do, it helps us to fuel our dopamine system, providing us again with that sense of accomplishment. And this then spirals you forward because it motivates you to keep on going and to keep on growing. Also, just to add, my friend, when you break things down into small, manageable, actionable chunks, you reduce mental overload, right? Because sometimes we got everything up here. We want to make these massive achievements and they become too big. So reduce them down. We reduce them down to help our brain have more focus on the things that we can achieve. And then we take action towards it. It makes it easier to move forward without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling bogged down. It helps us to keep those steps moving forward into the direction that we want to be, the place that we want to get to, the goals that we want to achieve, and the new life that we want to elevate towards. Here's a really interesting fact. Did you know about Richard Branson? That's right, you've heard of him. Richard Branson, regardless of all of the obstacles and setbacks that he had, such as dyslexia, he had major issues around this area when he was in his education system. In fact, he dropped out of school. He didn't wait for any perfect moment. What he did is he pulled those moments back and made them perfect for him. Remember when he started Virgin? Can you imagine where Virgin is right now? You see, suffering with some of these things, we utilize them as excuses. When we make our reasons stronger than our excuses, that's when we can really thrive and really achieve. You see, with Richard, he took some calculated risks and he built momentum through them. He made them into small, manageable, achievable chunks. And this was through consistent action. Look him up on the internet. You will see his story. Look at his journey. Look at all the things that he has overcome and just how he did it. A phenomenal modern example for us who can really inspire us just through his actions and how he was able to achieve it. So go ahead, whack his name into a search engine and read about his life. You will be inspired. Are you ready to be continuously inspired throughout every single area of your life? Well, join our free community. It's totally complimentary. All you got to do is click on that link, that first link that you can see on YouTube, and you will get exclusive free complimentary access to our community. Let me just remind you of what is included. Each week, you will have a Q&A call with myself and the rest of the community. That's right. We'll be there to answer your questions, to help you to elevate and take your life to the next level. Totally complimentary. Plus, you will have access to 15 plus hours of bonus resources. On top of that, you will have a network of people within our community that are all like-minded, all winners, all have this motivated mindset to try to push themselves forward. They are ambitious within their own fields and they have grown within their own fields. Imagine having that network around you, how much you can grow. And then, of course, you'll have exclusive access to our events, our motivational talks, and even some online coaching. So go ahead, click on that link, that one down there, the first one, and get your exclusive, complimentary, free access to our community. Let's dive into a case study of somebody that I really want to introduce you to. Welcome to Patrick. I'm currently working with Patrick and he had this limiting belief in his mind, and let's talk about how he shattered it. He broke free from this one saying, he's too old to start over again. Is this you? Does it sound like you? Do you have those limiting beliefs and those excuses in your mind? Well, let me talk to you about Patrick's journey. When I first met Patrick, he was extremely ambitious at what he was doing in his career. As a professional, he was outstanding, but he faced this constant battle with indecisions. Honestly, it was pulling him back. He really couldn't make choices within his life. You see, opportunities would come up for him all of the time, but he found himself in this area where he would just be paralyzed. He would freeze. He could not make a choice. Patrick would always second guess himself, never knew whether he was going to make the right decision. And through this area, he had the fear of making the wrong decision. This was the paralyzing area for him. So he just stopped. He would pause. He would overthink and overanalyze. As a result, Patrick missed out on so many chances and so many opportunities to keep on growing within his career. Bless him. His self-doubt created this incredible cycle of inaction where he just literally stopped in every area, leaving him to feel really stuck and really unsure. This led, unfortunately, to a lot of frustration and the inability for him to move forward. Do you know anybody like that? Are you like that? Do you find making decisions difficult? Well, let's talk more about what we did with Patrick to have those breakthrough moments, to have this new approach towards his life. What I did with Patrick is I had to break that cycle, the cycle of indecision making. I introduced some decision making frameworks. Some of them were really simple, some were a bit more complex. That helped Patrick right at the beginning to start to have a little bit more structure when he came to areas of his life where he faced uncertainty. And then we moved on to work together to set some clear criteria for evaluating every single decision. Key things like weighing up the risks to the rewards, looking at the long-term impacts, looking at the pros and cons of making a decision and stepping towards it. These key frameworks really did start to help Patrick, and he started to make more clear, concise decisions. It allowed him to manage the decisions based on logic and clarity rather than emotion. You know, the emotional brain can kick in, that fear kicks in, the fear of what? Failure, which leads to overthinking, procrastination, which stops you from moving forward. With Patrick, this new approach took all of the pressure off him. It was phenomenal. His change was unreal. This allowed him to start to see each choice that he made as an opportunity rather than a burden which was really holding him back. The impact with Patrick was almost immediate. He started to say yes to opportunities, the opportunities that he once feared. He feared to pursue them. He didn't want to push forward because he seemed to think that they were too risky. Now, starting to say yes had a phenomenal impact in his momentum because he was thinking with more of a clear mind. This clarity helped him to move from this place of self doubt to one area where he could start to take action and move forward. Where every decision that he used to make before was grounded and rooted in these anchors, was stopping him moving forward. Now it was rooted in this structured process, in these frameworks, this thoughtful process, which helped him to make the decisions and make them more clearly. Honestly, within a couple of months, I saw Patrick make some phenomenal, bold moves, and I'm telling you, they really paid off. He not only secured a new role which aligned with these long term visions and goals that he had, but he felt more empowered. Honestly, you could see just by the way he was walking and presenting himself, this guy was a new guy. He stepped into a new place of his life. He really started to own and take back control of his life. The career opportunities that he once felt that were extremely daunting were now within his grasp. And believe you me, because he was saying yes, he was grasping every opportunity with both hands. And you see what happened? This gave him a real sense of confidence within all areas of his life. Just by this one spark, this one framework, it really elevated every single part of his life, and he became so much more confident in his own ability and had self belief and self worth. Let me tell you where Patrick is right now. Patrick is thriving in his career. He is more confident in making decisions in all areas of his life. In fact, he makes them without hesitation. Sometimes I need to tell him to slow down. Honestly, sometimes I'm like, Patrick, slow down, man. Let's just think about this a little bit further. Sometimes a little bit more contemplation and reflection will help you. Honestly, though, all jokes apart, he stepped into this phenomenal leadership role. He's working on projects where he felt before they were too risky. He didn't want to take that chance or that opportunity. He now has the ability to assess situations quickly and act really decisively because the frameworks are embedded, they're blueprinted in his mind. And this has earned him recognition within his company, and he has incredible respect in his field. I'll go on to say once again that Patrick's confidence has started to influence other areas of his life. He's made some brave decisions and brave choices. Let me tell you this. Patrick recently got married, and I had the honor of speaking at his wedding. I was such a proud moment, honestly. And not only that, he has moved forward, and together they have bought their first house. His journey from self doubt to self trust has completely transformed his approach to life. He now continues to build momentum in all areas of his life. Whenever he has a decision to make, he faces it with the same frameworks, the same principles, and you can see his growth and development going on before my eyes. Do you know anybody like this? Are you like this? Maybe this is resonating with you. Patrick's story is phenomenal, and I really wanted you to share it with me. In fact, Patrick urged me to share it and include it into this course because what he has been able to do in such a short amount of time shows that if you put the effort in and the work in, you can really make changes into these areas of your life. All you have to do is try to figure out what's holding you back. Let's look at some of the lessons that we can learn from Patrick's journey. First and foremost, indecisions, they keep you stuck. They keep you rooted to the ground. Constantly second guessing yourself leads to missed opportunities, which continuously stop you from going forward. It's essential, first and foremost, for us to recognize when indecisions are holding us back. Are they holding you back? Sometimes it's the most simplest frameworks that provide the best clarity, not overcomplicating things. Even by breaking your decisions down into manageable steps and actions, it can help you to make decisions more easier, commit to your actions, and reduce this feeling of being totally overwhelmed. That's right, we've all been there. My friend, trusting in yourself really transforms your future. Not only in making decisions or whatever it is that you're struggling in. Let's look at Patrick's journey. He was able to open up new doors, new windows, new pathways for opportunities and growth just by tackling this one area of his life. Look at how Patrick's story helped him to be more confident. Look at all the areas with his marriage, with the purchase of his new home. Look at his career growth right now, and his confidence has grown exponentially. This is just by trusting in yourself, by making those small decisions, utilizing frameworks that will really help you. Some strategies that you can put in place will really start to blueprint in your mind, and you will be able to face your challenges with more confidence, more self-worth, and more self-strength. In fact, Patrick has shared a message for you guys, and I just want to read it out to you. It's on your screens right now. Let's read it out together. I used to overthink everything, analyze, hesitate, and do nothing. And guess what? Nothing changed. Everything stayed the same. The truth is, waiting for that perfect decision is procrastination. What changed everything for me was having the system, accountability, and somebody like me, Neil, that helped me to push myself forward. He gave me the tools, the frameworks. That's what I gave him, the frameworks. And I changed his mindset to take action. When I had doubts, he kept me on track. Since then, I've made bigger moves in months than I have in years. So if you're serious about personal growth, stop waiting, invest in yourself, get the right support, and take action now. What a wonderful message from Patrick. Honestly, I'm humbled. Thank you so much, Patrick. It's a pleasure working with you. And I hopefully we can continuously work together through all of your challenges, all of the things that you face, and really start to take your life even further to the moon and beyond. I want to take a moment now to dive in to some practical solutions and strategies, some key areas that are really going to help you. So make sure you've got your notebook and your pen, write these strategies down, write these solutions down, because they will help you. Firstly, let me teach you mindfulness. This is called the 5-second rule. What do you need for this? Firstly, you need to be in the present moment. Easier said than done, right? How do we get into the present moment? Let me show you. Firstly, just take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Ask your mind a few things. What can you feel? Are you sitting down? Can you feel the chair below you? Are you standing up? Can you feel the floor below you? Can you feel the air moving around you? What can you taste in your mouth? What can you smell in the air? What can you feel? What can you see? Bringing yourself into the present moment is about grounding yourself, being right here and right now. So sharpen your senses, take a deep breath, and be in that present moment. When you're feeling like you're hesitating, when you're not moving forward, take a moment to ground yourself, be in that present moment. Count down from 5, inhaling a deep breath deep into your lungs, and hold that for the count of 5. Once you've completed that, exhale from the mouth. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then, after you've done that, immediately bypass your self doubt and make that decision. You will find this to be an incredible strategy, something so simple, something that we use with Patrick. It really created mindfulness within him. He made a decision not from a logical brain, not from an emotional brain, from the gut instinct. He knew it would be right because he was more mindful, he was more present in the moment. So try the 5-second rule. It really does help. Breathe in through the nose to the count of 5 and exhale from the mouth to the count of 5. And then make that bold decision. Let's dive into the second strategy. This is all about small steps, creating micro wins. I call this the micro win strategy. What tools do you need? First and foremost, make sure that you have that pen and that notebook. Hopefully, you are taking notes because these strategies are phenomenal, absolutely mind blowing. So, go and grab it if you haven't. Press pause on the YouTube video right now and go and grab your notebook and pen. Let's move into the task. First and foremost, start by setting goals that stretch you. They move you out of your comfort zone, the place that you always love to be. Make them nice and big. Make them achievable, but push them, stretch them that little bit further. Take some time to do this, okay? Really reflect on it. Where you normally would set those boundaries, push beyond them because nothing grows in that comfort zone. So push yourself outside of it, outside of that boundary that you normally live in. Then, once you've done that, look at the goal and break them down. Break them down into the smallest chunks possible, the smallest micro steps. Honestly, this really does help. And when I say micro, make them as small as you possibly can. Atomic, like James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, right? Make them really, really small. And then grasp one of those small steps and start moving forward. Start ticking them off as you take it chunk by chunk, step by step. Before you know it, you've gone beyond your normal zone, your normal boundary, that comfort zone that you live in, and you've elevated yourself. You've gone beyond your normal capacity and really started to elevate your life. So use this micro win strategy for any area of your life that you want to work. Again, something that we used with Patrick, and look at his journey. Look where he is today. This strategy is phenomenal. He used this for his decision making skills. He really pushed himself and look what he was able to achieve. You are also able to achieve it, my friend. Let's look at the third and final strategy, which is accountability. This is called the commitment contract. Have you heard of this before? So don't worry too much because the tools you'll need have already been made for you and they're accessible free of charge, totally complimentary for you. The worksheet link is below. What I need you to do is go to that worksheet, click onto that link and download your copy of the commitment contract. But don't worry, you're not alone. Just download it, get it on your computer. I'm going to handhold you through the process and talk you through exactly what you need to do. Incredible. You've got your commitment contract in front of you. If you printed it off, amazing. If you've got it on your computer, incredible. Make sure that you keep a copy, download it, and put it into your personal development folder because you're going to need to keep going back to this if you really want to make changes. Let me just talk to you a little bit about this before I go through it step by step. Firstly, this contract is a personal agreement to take action towards achieving your goals. You will be signing this document, which means you'll be committing towards it. Committing towards what? Making progress within the next 7 days and holding yourself nice and accountable to take the necessary actions and the steps to move forward. Let's run through this step by step. So, step number one is to define your small goal. Here's a few questions for you. What is one small thing, meaningful action that I will take within the next 7 days that will help me to get closer to my larger goal? I got an example in there to really help you. I will wake up 30 minutes earlier each morning to work on my business idea. Think about that. Underneath there, I've given you some space to write out your small goal. Do some work on this, take some time, think about it. Remember, it needs to be small. It really needs to fit in and align towards your larger goal. Step two is all about linking towards your larger objective. So, question for yourself there. You can answer it. How does this action contribute towards my bigger vision or my long term goal? Think about it. If you're going to do something or commit to something for the next 7 days, that's energy and time. Is it aligning towards your longer term goal, your longer term vision? If it's not, leave it and think about doing something else. Step number three is about public accountability. What do I mean by that? Ask yourself this one question. Who have I shared my goal with to keep me accountable? Honestly, accountability is one of the greatest motivators. Why not share it in our free complimentary community? If you haven't done so already, click onto that first link in YouTube and get access to our community and share your goal. Find an accountability partner within the community. What I want you to do is really write it down here. I give you that example. I've told my friend Sarah, who will check in with my progress. I've told Neil, who will check in with my progress. Think about that. Write it down in there. And then just underneath, what I'd like you to do is speak to that person and ask them this question, which you can fill in here. How will they support me in staying committed? Write those action steps on there. Let's look at step number 4, because this is all about acknowledgement and commitment. What I want you to do in this area here, which is so powerful, is to sign this contract. My friend, by signing this contract, you will acknowledge that you are taking responsibility for take action towards your goal. Look at what it says before the signature. I commit to making this a priority and holding myself accountable. Sign it and then date it. As we move further down the contract, there's a few small areas that I want to bring to your attention. There's a little reflection exercise. What I want you to do is to complete this after the 7 days. Ask yourself these key questions. Did I achieve my small goal? Why or why not? Did I achieve my small goal? Ask yourself why or why not. Don't be afraid to put that down on there. You're just being the honest version of yourself. And then you can start to look at maybe why not. And then you can overcome those barriers and obstacles. Maybe you made the goal too big. Could be many reasons. And then ask yourself, what did I learn from this commitment? Incredible question to ask yourself. This is reflective work. We did this with Patrick really early on, and it really helped. The final question to ask yourself is, what are my next steps? What will you hold yourself accountable for? So hopefully your next steps will be to do another contract for the next 7 days, and so on and so forth. Before you know it, over a course of time, just like Patrick, maybe in that short amount of time, you will get to where you need to be. You will shatter your limiting beliefs. You will be able to move forward. You will stop overthinking. You will take accountability. You will make better decisions. You'll have better relationships. You'll have career growth. You'll have better finances. You'll have better mental state of mind, and you'll be more confident. The final thought from me on this worksheet is all about accountability. Let's read it out. Accountability and consistent action lead to lasting change. Keep setting and achieving small goals, and you will build momentum towards your bigger dreams and aspirations. Let's continue on to the final area of 1.4. You now have your contract to commitment, that commitment to yourself. So sign the contract, seal the deal. Your future self will thank you. So, in conclusion, to the power from within, your foundation towards success, I just want to take a moment, my dear friend, to be 100% real and honest with you. Most people will never take the time to build that foundation. They stay in the same place. They have the same habits. They have the same patterns of behavior. And that's why progress never really happens. They chase success. They chase the influence that they want. They even chase that wealth, but it never really comes and never really sticks. You know why? Because they stay standing on that shaky ground. And no matter what they build on top of it, because it's uneven and shaky, it never really stays. You have to master those fundamentals. You have to master the foundations. That's why most people fail. But my friend, my dearest friend, that is not you. You are going to make a decision today that is going to change your life. You're going to take everything that we've gone through in this foundational level, and you're going to set your foundations nice and solid by turning everything that we have gone through into action. Take on board all of the advice and everything that we've done throughout this complementary section, and allow yourself to start penetrating and moving forward. Because with action, that's when you gain results. Because now you're starting to understand the physiology, your identity, your habits and your patterns of behavior. You also understand that your mindset needs to change and develop so you can dictate your results. My friend, you've taken this first step, which puts you 90%, a whopping 90% above most people that just consume content but never ever take action. That puts you into that top tier. But here's the harsh truth. Honestly, my dear friend, I am being 100% authentic and real with you right now. Knowing is not enough. You have to apply affirmative action. You have to move forward. That's what you have been doing so long in your life. You've not been taking the action steps that you need towards your foundation. And more importantly than that, you need to stack this knowledge and take those skills to the next level. Because once you stack those bricks on top of each other, you can build empires, the empires that you want to conquer, the empire in your mind, your body, your soul, whatever area of your life that you have been struggling with, these foundational steps will really help you. But you see, what happens next, it's entirely up to you. You can either stay still or you can move forward. You have now ignited the power from within. You've gone through the foundational module. But what's the point in doing all of this work if you don't have the confidence and the presence to show up and to dominate your space? Not my space, your space. How do you expect to influence others, master your emotions, and make better decisions if you just stop here? If you don't take action? How do you expect things to change? You see, the secret to what separates those who grow exponentially from those who just plateau, stay stuck and stagnant, is very simple. They just keep on going. The next move is yours, my dear friend. It's over to you to make that decision. You have to make a choice right now which will determine your future. Do not be one of those people that watch this content or skip forward or scroll and don't do anything about it. Don't be one of those people that just reads those motivational books but never takes anything from it and never puts it into action. Today is your day and it's up to you. It's up to you to take back control. Take back control of your life and really progress forward. I have a phenomenal offer for you for just £9.99. That's right, only £9.99. You will get full, complete access to the rest of the modules 2 to 5. Let me go through it with you. Module 2 is all about owning any room that you walk in with unshakable confidence. That's right. Inner strength, confidence to be able to push forward. Those are the initial bricks to really build that inner resilience, strength, and confidence where you can smash through any obstacle. Module 3 is about mastering influence and emotional intelligence, to be able to connect yourself towards others, to inspire others, to lift yourself up, to be able to motivate yourself. And then as we move into module 4, you will learn how to make those high stakes decisions with clarity and also with purpose as you move forward into your life. And then module 5, the final module, is about taking massive action, taking those steps that you can really enhance your life. You can elevate to that place where you want to be. There's no plateauing in this course. It's all about elevation. And as we end on module 5, you will learn how to take massive action towards the person that you really want to be. And once you've completed module 5, you will really know how to take those massive steps. You will understand what it means to get to that next level with that clarity and that purpose. You'll have stronger influence. You'll have better confidence within yourself. You will be unshakable in any situation. And through the rest of the modules, you will learn how to build those bricks towards the success, to really build those empires that you want. And it doesn't stop there, my dear friend. On top of that, for that $9.99, you get access to modules 2 to 5, which is going to elevate your life and really help you to keep on building and keep on moving. There is an exclusive bonus which you will get access to. That's right, totally exclusive. You will get free access to our private, thriving community of ambitious, like-minded individuals just like you. That's right, access to the private community. We've already given you access to the free community, but can you imagine being in a community with winners, getting exclusive coaching directly from me? That's right, I'm in the community as well, and I will be providing direct access and support to uplift you. We have had amazing results within our private communities, and honestly, the support network that you can have, your network will equal your net worth. Your outcomes will grow exponentially. So here's the deal. You have to make that decision with clarity and purpose and know your intention. For that price of £9.99, you will get all of that. Access to modules 2 to 5. You've already consumed the content of module 1, and you understand just how you can create those foundational steps to really start to look at all areas of your life. Imagine applying modules 2 to 5. And then on top of that, you get that exclusive bonus access to our private community. Most people will not take that next step. They will make excuses, the excuses that they made for many years. They will hesitate in the same pattern of behavior that they always have, and they will stay exactly where they are. But those who commit, those who push through, they will build unstoppable momentum. They will change their lives. My friend, you have already started this journey. You've already taken this step. You've already consumed this content. You're already considering how you can push forward with those actionable steps. Please do not stop now. Don't stop now. Don't be one of those people that just move on to the next book, the next course, the next program. Do something to take back action of your life. Unlock modules 2 to 5 and get your exclusive access to our private community. This access is granted for that low price of only £9.99, less than £10. And this will continue your momentum to become the unstoppable person that you've always wanted to be. The only question is, will you be the one who takes the action, or are you going to be one of those ones that one day turns around and says, what if? What if I took this off? The choice is yours, my dear friend. Take back control of your life for £9.99. Unlock those modules. Get access to our private group. Get access to me. And believe you me, I will turn you into a beast, unstoppable and unshakable, with confidence, with vision, with clarity, and with purpose. Thank you so much for sticking with us through our complimentary Module 1 of Elevate. It's been my absolute honor and pleasure to serve you and to give you these complimentary steps to create foundational success. I know you've got it within you. I believe in you. All you have to do is apply everything that you've learned and make a decision that will ultimately change your future. Please do continue to follow and support all the work we're doing. We're pushing out daily content to enhance, educate, and change people's lives. I look forward to seeing you for your growth journey. Keep going and keep on growing.